BigDBoxingPage.com.
Hey, welcome to the Big D Boxing Page show. And today we have some very good topics we're going to be discussing. How about Southpaw stance versus Orthodox stance? Let me break that down to you. How about some other good stuff? What about shadow boxing? Whoa, what's that all about? I'm going to break that down. We also going to be talking about some of the up-and-coming fights that's coming up. We got Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. Heavyweight fight coming up. That fight's going to be good. We also have in April 21st fights, we got the Nonito Donaire fight against Frampton fight. We're going to discuss a little bit about that. Also on that same date, miles away from each other in New York, we're going to have the Adrien, Broner, Jessie, Vargas fight. We're going to be discussing a little bit about that. But first, let's begin by discussing the fight next week coming up, a heavyweight fight. We saw the last one with Wilder and Ortiz. That was a great heavyweight fight. A lot of people looking past this fight and automatically trying to say Joshua, Wilder. They're just overlooking the other guy. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the other guy, Mr. Joseph Parker. Well, Mr. Joseph Parker actually is not a bad fighter. Very mobile, heavyweight fighter. He can punch, got a great right hand. He can throw it on top. He can stick it under. So if he lands it, look out. Now, I picked Joshua to win the fight. I think Joshua is the best heavyweight fighter that's out there today. However, it might be an interesting fight. So I think the other guy has a chance. Yes, you heard it from me. So y'all be sure to watch that fight. It's going to be on Showtime next week. Make sure you tune in. And I think it's going to be a great fight. He has a decent jab. Mr. Parker does. He has a decent right hand. And Joshua, he's a great boxer. And he's been in there with Klitschko. He got that championship experience and fighting in, I believe, his hometown. So I picked Joshua in the fight, but that ought to be a very, very entertaining fight. So let's now go to the April 21st fights. What? Who's fighting on April 21st? How long is that away? You figure it out. I know. But let's go to the first one. Nonito Donaire. You know him, the Filipino Flash, versus Frampton in Frampton's hometown. Ooh. Well, I feel like on a neutral court, I would give the advantage to Donaire. But going inside that backyard of that other fighter, big championship fight like that, a lot of things can happen, you know. Boxing is one thing, but when you go to somebody else's backyard, you got to be careful about the food, the fans antagonizing you. You know, somebody might be calling your hotel phone to wake you up all hours of the night. It's just a lot of intangibles that go along with boxing when you go into somebody else's backyard and fight them. So, I believe Donaire win the fight. But, man, that's going in hostile territory to the utmost. I like to share with you a little bit about Donaire's training camp. Share with you about Donaire. How you know? I'm watching. I see. I also been there watching Donaire train. And I can give you a little insight. Not much, because in this game, in this boxing game, we can't share a lot of stuff that we see. Now, I go in gyms all day long. I see some of the best pro fighters, amateur fighters all day long. But I cannot put everything on camera. Okay, just to let you know. but I can share some words to you about the training and how it's going and what I look forward to. So, Donaire's training is going very, very well. He's getting in shape. His timing is very, very good right now. So I look forward for Donaire to be at his peak on fight day. Okay? That's what I expect. And he has the experience. He knows what it's like. So we look for Donaire to come out sharp, like the Donaire you used to seeing. In my prediction, Donaire come out with the winner from BigDBoxingPage.com. Another bout, April 21st. Miles away in New York at the Barclays Center. We're going to have another good one. The man you love to hate, Adrien Broner versus Jessie Vargas. Yay! Okay, I think that right there is going to be an interesting fight. And here's why I say that. Broner definitely has skills. He has a good jab, right hand. He can counter punch. He can fight going backward, forward. He can do a lot of things. But we don't know how much Broner is partying right now. Everybody know Broner parties, y'all. Broner happy. He can party. So if he's partying, it's going to have an effect on the fight. Oh, but he don't party during training camp. Yeah, but when you not training and you partying them 5 and 6 months layoff, and it has a toll on the body, it has a toll on the mind. Boxing's a mental sport. One day I'll break that down to you. But because I know it is a mental sport, I'm not sure which Adrien Broner will show up. But I do know it's going to be a hungry Jessie Vargas that's going to show up for that card. That I do know. Ding, 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 ding. Now, how do you know that Big D? How you know that Big D? I just happened to be in a training camp of Jessie Vargas. Why? How you do that? You not with him? No. I am with Team Haney. So I get to see Jessie Vargas train up close. So y'all need to subscribe to my YouTube page, okay? Because I get a lot of insight. And I'm going to show you a whole lot of stuff you're not going to see nowhere else but me, because I'm part of Team Haney. Who's Team Haney? Devin Haney. Lord Devin Haney, the best fighter in the world, 19 years old. Everybody's scared to fight. Okay, yeah, that's one of the fighters I train. I got some good news too. But back to the Vargas Broner fight. You thought I forgot. No, I didn't. I think Vargas, because he's training hard and sparring great young fighters like the Haneys of the world, and he has some other sparring partners that are pretty sharp too. I think that's going to play a factor in how he prepares and fights Broner. When you have somebody that's actually quicker than Broner and you're sparring with him, when it comes down to fight day, Jessie have a little bit an advantage handling the speed. And that, to me, would turn into more of a Mexican type style fight where they'll start banging at each other. And as they start banging at each other, the crowd gets into it. I think it's going to be a rough and tough fight. And I think in the end, I believe Jessie Vargas will win a split decision. But it's going to be close, and it's going to be rough, and it's going to be exciting, okay? But I can tell you, Jessie is preparing for that fight in much respect to Mr. Jessie Vargas. All right, Big D Boxing Page Show. Big D Boxing Page Show. Okay, y'all, listen here. What I like to do on my show is talk about boxing from the inside. What do you mean by that? From the inside, because I am a trainer. What? Yes, I'm a trainer first. And then we're going to go over some things about trainers that maybe you didn't know or understand. So let's start covering it. Let's go with the first thing. Shadow boxing. That ain't nothing. I do that all the time. I walk around, yeah. I know. But let's talk about shadow boxing the correct way. Let's talk about shadow boxing from a boxer's point of view, how to do it, what does it mean. So let's get into it. Shadow boxing. The correct way to shadow, look, for trainers and boxers, if your fighter just get in the ring and you say shadow box 3 rounds and he getting ready, he just shadow box 3 rounds and you know what I mean, he going about his business. That's not getting the most out of shadow boxing, okay? Shadow boxing should be going over situations in the ring as they throw correct punches, pretending there's a man in front of them, okay? What do you mean by that? Okay, situations. Shadow boxing is where you go over how to throw proper punches. What do you want to do when they attack you coming forward, coming back, off the ropes? Okay, and you practice those situations mentally, shadow boxing. Okay, now, in each round, let me share this with you, all you trainers out there. In each round, there is at least 200 situations that's going on per round, okay? Situations that's going on per round. I ain't never heard of that before. Okay, well, you heard it from BigDBoxingPage. You got it from me. So, when you shadow boxing, you are going over each situation in the ring while he is shadow boxing. If he's doing this, we're doing this. This punch is doing this. We're doing that, we're doing that. Okay? The correct way to shadow box. Once you get your footwork down, your distance, what you trying to do, you covering all those 200 situations in the ring. Okay? You get that? The thing is, you need to understand and know every inch of the ring. If you was to close your eyes blindfolded, you should be able to go from one side to the next corner blindfolded and know where you are in the ring. That's understanding the ring. This is high level stuff, y'all. And one more thing. Once you got all of that figured out, when you shadow box, you do it with technique and fundamentals at your peak speed. Yes, as sharp, as quick as you can. Somebody does shadow boxing for real, comes out of there sweating, he's exhausted, because he's doing everything at fight speed, okay? Now there's a lot to that, all right? You have to build to that when you break those situations down. But if you listen to me correctly, this should help your fighter understand boxing a whole lot better. Okay? Did you get that? Shadow boxing. Now, next topic I want to discuss. Southpaw versus Orthodox fighter. Oh, that's a good one right there. What's the difference? Why is there a so-called advantage? Is there an advantage? Why is there an advantage? What should you start off as? And let's break that down a little bit. Okay? Southpaw versus Orthodox. What do Southpaw mean? Simply fighting left-handed, right hand in the front. What do Orthodox mean? Fighting right-handed, left hand in front. Okay, so now we got that out the way. What makes a fighter right-handed? What makes a fighter left-handed? Okay, simply, if a fighter writes with his right hand, he throws with the right hand, he wipes his, with his right hand, Okay, so he's a right-handed fighter because that's his dominant hand. That's his most powerful hand. He could throw further with that hand. He could swing a bat harder with that hand. So that's going to be your Orthodox, basic, right-handed fighter, okay? Vice versa. Somebody do that with the left hand, he comes in with the left hand. Okay, so he's traditionally going to be a southpaw fighter. Okay, all right. Now, what's the difference in the two? There's a big difference between the two. Punches from this way is 1-2. Southpaws 1-2. As you can see, the punches are backwards. Even a hook, 1, 2, 3. A hook is a hook. So a hook is side of the head. So you got 1, 2, 3 from a southpaw. The hook is on the side of the head on the other side. So the punches are backwards. Okay? Now, let me break it down a little bit more. There are way more right-handed fighters than left-handed fighters in the sport of boxing. It's just way more of them. Okay? So right-handers fight right-handers all the time, and left-handers fight right-handers all the time. So southpaw people are used to right-handed fighters. It's nothing to them because most fighters are right-handed. Bet you didn't think about that angle. Let me break it down a little bit more. The footwork position is a lot different between the right-hander and a left-hander. If the left-hander is standing in front of the right-hander, the right-hander has to have his feet outside the left-hander's front feet. The reason why is because if the left-hander's feet is outside the right-hander's front feet, he's lined up for the left-hander's favorite punch is the left down the middle. So it's constantly a feet position for the right-handed fighter in the ring because he know the left-handed guy is trying to line him up with the left. So he's doing something unusual than he's normally doing. When he's fighting a right-handed fighter, he ain't worried about the feet. Everybody's lined up. You heard toe-to-toe, they toe-to-toe. Everybody lined up correctly. But when you go against that left-hander, it ain't toe-to-toe no more. You trying to put feet, position your feet over to get away from the left hand, and he's fighting you normally what he always do. So now he done already took you out of your elements, okay? Vanish number 2. There's a few more. The body shots are backwards. All right, Earl Spence, a great southpaw. Body punches. Instead of whoop whoop, they come whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? Used to whoop whoop, now whoop whoop. Oh, and he digging 2 each time. All right. So to break that all down, southpaw versus orthodox, great big difference. Left-handers have the advantage, but if you're gonna start off a fighter, don't start him off left-handed just because you think that's the best thing to do. No, go with the traditional if he throws it that way. The difference is, let me break that down too. BigDBoxingPage knows his stuff. All right, so let's go. Let's say you switch it around, all right? So you got somebody supposed to fight that way, and now he's fighting away. Okay, so his jab is a lot better. His jab is a lot stronger, okay? So because his dominant hand is up front, where it's not this way. So yeah, but his backhand, your power hand, is not as strong, okay? So you're not hitting guys really, really hard like if you would if your backhand was back here. Okay, so what does that mean in a fight? Well, that means in a fight that you're going to go the distance a lot, okay? Because you're not going to be cracking guys out of there, all right? And also, too, not only you going distance a lot, they walking through your punches because you're not hitting them hard. Once you get past the jab, they not worried about the power that you have. So a lot of your fights, they're going to start coming forward. So a lot of your fights going to be trying to make it rough for you, okay? You're going to have a good jab, keep it off for you, but they're going to try to walk you down because you don't carry no power, okay? You understand that? So traditionally, go with the basic fundamentals. If you throw a football, you throw a baseball right-handed, go back to being the right-handed with it in the back, okay? If you throw it with this hand, whatever, okay, go the fundamentally correct way. All right? All right. I broke down the stances. Now I want to tell you about my week I had in boxing. Great week in boxing. Seen a lot of sparring in boxing. I wish that I could share some insights to what I see, but I can say that Devin Haney's best fighter in the world already, 19 years old. Y'all don't know him. Okay, I could say that. Okay, I've been with him for a while, watching him, spar, and he's a great fighter. Also spent time with Mr. Kenny Adams, trainer of 26 world champions. I spent a day with him going through his photo book, looking inside his photo album, and telling me some of the stories about some of the fighters, about the Olympics and Ali and the time he spent with Muhammad Ali. And that's a great experience. He shared a lot of knowledge with me about boxing and his past. And I suggest to any young fighter out there, if you see Mr. Kenny Adams, who's around in the boxing circuit in Las Vegas, walk up to him. He's a very kind man. He'd be glad to share some insights that he know. And I think that you can learn from a legend like Mr. Kenny Adams, okay? So shout out to Mr. Kenny Adams. And that's it. I did my show. How'd you like it? I told you it's informative. I try to be funny a little bit. Alright? So check out my last episode I did with Hassan Rockman, two-time heavyweight world champion. Let me say that again. Two-time heavyweight world champion. Go check that out. That's on my YouTube channel. That's a very funny show. We had fun doing it. You're gonna laugh for sure. Okay, go check out my first show. And that was with we was going over jabs, the most important punch in distance, alright, and footwork. You check out my other show. We was going over distance. Boy, this show, boy, I told y'all about Southpaw. I broke that down today. You see, hey, you should check me out training. You should check me out training. Huh? Send your fighter to me. I'll teach him a thing or two. Oh, guess what? I may have some big news for you coming up. I'll share with you next week as this week develops. I may be training somebody well known. And if I do, I'll share it with you and let you know when we're going to be fighting. But you're going to be seeing up close very, very inside training of champions. He is a champion, okay? Also, too, with Devin Haney, I'm with him every day. You're going to get some insights of that, all right? So we're going to bring boxing to you. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and go to my website and be on the lookout for some great boxing information, boxing stories, boxing pictures. Big D Boxing Page, we's out!